Hi guys. Okay. This is too much. I'm gonna be very transparent with y'all. I was in the shower, lost track of time. I'm in a robe, dripping wet, because I didn't realize how late I was. So, how is everyone? Hello, Jeffrey. Hello, Nicole, Ecolt, Permafrost, Peter. How are y'all tonight? Okay. Very, very luxurious. Thing is, I had time to get dressed. I just didn't. Also. So, this is where we are now. Hi, Juicy Orange. Welcome to the stream. Cute frog. All these pictures on screen are from this latest episode. I had to adjust some things because the Snatch Game photos, I'm pretty sure. It's fine. Okay. How is everyone? Hi, Kelsey. Welcome to the stream. I'm so flustered from like just starting out of nowhere. I don't know why I can't just manage my time like a regular human person. Okay. Should be fine. We're gonna cover the flamingo. How's the audio? Is it being choppy? Because sometimes it does that. Also, my internet's been so fucked lately. My stream may cut out again this week. Because that's just how it has to be. Sound is perfect? Okay, thank you. Yeah, it is. It's a trash can clown in the background of Eevee and a curious performance scene, whatever you want to call it. And I was like, that is the perfect depiction of me. A clown trash can. I have no idea what this frog is. It was just in the cat fight scene. And then I was like, well, now I need depictions from the other one. So I grab a flamingo and a piece of chicken. Seemed very appropriate. Okay. Okay, I have the picture set up. We can talk about the episode. Okay. Yeah, that should work. You get the idea of who was playing who in this Snatch Game. More than likely, it probably is a trash can. I think you can see that there's like a basket inside of it that is a trash can. I don't know how you empty it, but that's a mystery that we have to uncover on another day. I am so out of it. Okay, so... God, I forgot what the last episode was. It was Snatch Game, but I forgot what the mini challenge was. What was the mini challenge on the Snatch Game episode? Was it the book challenge? It was that book challenge. See, every mini challenge this season has been one on point, but two has just been a recreation of another main challenge from past seasons, and I swear they're better than the main challenges. Like, sometimes I wish, like, it could just be the mini challenge and I would be fine with it. Because that book challenge was everything. And I was like, this Snatch Game was not everything. Maybe we're at the point where we need to get rid of Snatch Game. I know everyone loves it. But more than not, they turn out to be pretty bad. And maybe we're at this point where Snatch Game is done, we need something new. But then All Stars 4 Snatch Game was also bad, and that was trying to be something new. So they just need to rethink the entire thing. But All Stars 1, that was also terrible. So I wouldn't recommend that one either. How about no impersonation? We can just do that. Yeah, the mini challenge was a book challenge that Silky won, and I was like, why did Silky, like, Silky's funny, but I was like, why did she win that? I thought Plastique's was actually really funny. I thought she should have won that, but I guess it doesn't matter. Oh, and then fucking Morgan McMichaels came out because she was a Postmates deliverer, and she shot out a ping pong ball out of her asshole. I was like, okay, well, that was weird. That was a very weird thing. People will riot if Snatch Game changes, but sometimes people don't realize what they want. Oftentimes people don't realize what they want. Yeah, it feels really weird with Silky, like she does well. Well, it's because I think she has an up-down relationship with herself. Like, she gets complacent with herself, as we'll talk about. But we could just talk about the Snatch Game. So so the way it's set up on the Drag Race fandom site is it's each girl's Snatch Game, then Runway. So we're gonna talk about it like that. So we're gonna start with Akira's Snatch Game and then her Runway. I don't remember Akira in this Snatch Game, like, at all. I know she's Tiffany Haddish, and kind of, I think she played it better than Monique's Tiffany Haddish, where it was, that was literally just Monique. But at the same time, I felt like Monique is very similar to that, and like, to that interpretation. But it wasn't memorable, but it wasn't bad. That's the thing, right? It's probably a good thing that I don't remember, because I remember the bad more than I remember the good. In fact, I don't think there was any. Was there good? There was not that many good. She didn't fumble into nothingness like everyone else. Oh, that may help. But yeah, the runway theme was sequins, which is a fine runway by me. It's like, I like sparkly things. So her runway was this zebra look. We have two zebra looks that we need to talk about, which is very weird. It's such a specific thing to talk about that it's strange that there's two of them that we have to talk about. But I think this is a gorgeous look. I like the addition of a tail. I like how it doesn't immediately read as zebra. You have to look at the finer details of it, because it's not a particular specific zebra print. It's just a black and white print, but it looks really nice. I like this look. I think it was good, very good. And you know, I like a updo mohawk-esque sort of a situation. But yeah, it's really good. This was very well put together. This little kink on the tail, though, that kind of bothers me. Like, why can't it be a little bit more erect? You know, she has a flaccid tail, and I think that kind of bothers me, but it may just be in the picture and not on the runway. I don't remember the movement of the runway for this particular look, but this was a really good look. She meowed on the runway, as in, like, she actually meowed. I don't remember such a thing. Who are we gonna talk about next? Brooklyn, her Celine Dion. This was bad, pretty unbearable, because Rue was like throwing her, because obviously Rue knows what to say when you're Celine Dion, so she was throwing her every bone. That's the weird thing about Snatch Game, is most of the time the people that do bad are the ones that are like, zebra is zebra, is that what I just said? Rue is throwing you like what you need to say. Like, it's so obvious, but they just never catch it. It's so weird. I should stop reading chat when I'm talking, because then I'm just gonna say the words that are in chat. But yeah, it was pretty bad. She looks on point, but everything else is off. And also, she didn't have any. Well, okay, here, the story is that I think people have said is that this was her backup, and that they should have, and that she originally had other characters to play that they said no to at the very last minute, which is so shitty. But also, you need to make sure your backup is also good, because this was bad. That was pretty bad. And the thing is, with Snatch Game, you don't even need to do good. You just need to do middle of the road. But that wasn't even that. It was so bad. Okay. Her runway. Her runway performance was everything. That was good. Her outfits, both before the reveal and post reveal, I hate it so much. I don't think she looks that great. I mean, body on point, but everything else I don't like, except for that wig. That wig is a win. Everything else is terrible. So it's that dynamic of her performing really well. So she was selling the outfit to the majority of people. I still hate the outfit though. It's pretty bad, and there's not anything really we're talking about other than that wig. And by the way, that wig is Plastique's wig that she gave her. So this was a good week for Plastique. Actually, it wasn't at all, but we'll get to it. Nina West, so she had two. Oh, okay, it shows the other one too. Her Harvey Fierstein. This was good. This was fucking good. The impersonation was very on point, and I enjoyed it a lot. A lot of people are saying that she should have won, and I don't disagree. I just don't think she was as funny, or rather, she didn't make me laugh as much as the queen that won, in my opinion. So, even though I do think she put in the most work for her Snatch Game, her Harvey Fierstein and her Joanne Worley. I read it wrong, and I was like, that's not how you spell that, is it? I don't think so. I think she spelled it wrong. Yeah, but also the two character thing, I don't think was actually necessary. I think she could have just stayed as Harvey Fierstein, and everything would have been the same. She didn't need to do the two performances. But let's talk about her runway. I love this look. I think looks like this is what Nina does best. It's kind of similar to her Trick or Treat look that she did on that week. The Audrey 2 Little Shop of Horrors look. I think that those are the looks she does best. I had to Google what this flag was. I could not find it. Then I look at every state flag, because every other state flag ever is an emblem, and this one is the Ohio state flag. And it's just, I don't think I've ever seen the Ohio state flag in my life. And I'm like, I can't really talk. The Texas state flag is the most basic flag in the world. So yeah. Also, Texans cannot tell the difference between the Texas state flag or the Chilean flag, because they look almost identical except for just one small difference. It's pretty sad. We use the Chilean flag in the emoji so much. I thought it was a Confederate flag too, but then I was like, no, definitely not that. She would never. Also, it wouldn't even make any sense from, well, does it Ohio? No, it wasn't. But yeah, this is a very cute look, and I really like it. That is what makes this Texas flag good. Like, you see it in the lineup with like the American flag, you're like, oh, it's just there. Why did you think I was in LA? Do I seem like an LA person to you? No, I'm in Texas, born and raised. I'm not proud of it, but I'm proud of it, you know? I have never been in a state other than Texas also. I've been in a different country, but not a state. And by country, I mean Mexico. You know, something that borders Texas. Okay. Plastique. I cannot read what her character was. And I think that says it all. I can't see what it was. I don't seem Texas. Well, I think we talked about this before in a previous stream where people don't perceive me as Texas because they don't perceive me to have like that specific Texas accent. But yeah. Oh, okay. So let's talk about Plastique. Her performance, I think I talked about it back in whatever the previous one where she went into that nail Asian accent. I never find that accent funny. It's also not my part to tear it apart, but I'm not offended by it by any means. It's just I don't find it funny. It doesn't make me laugh. That stereotype. So it's like, if that's the thing, I'm not going to laugh at it. So there is nothing here to laugh at, essentially. Well, the thing is with reality TV stars is they're big personalities that have very quotable things, but that doesn't really translate to what essentially this is also an improv challenge, and you need to be able to improvise, and that's what they're failing at. But yeah, I didn't find it funny, but also she wasn't sucking the humor out of the air like other people. So moving on, her runway. I don't know why she didn't get rid of the part around her neck. Who would I do? I said it before, I would be Sherry Lewis with the lamb chop puppet. They would probably never go for it, copyright characters, but still, I would think it would be funny. I don't know why she didn't take away the thing around her neck, because it's the exact same thing as Brooklyn, that Brooklyn had before. Because it's just a little bit too similar. But I like the actual look itself. It's just... How do I say that? It's just not wowing me. How Plastique is just kind of... Did she start off so well in her looks that nothing impresses with me? Nothing impresses me anymore about her. I don't know. There's just something about it that isn't giving me anything. Who am I rooting for? I'm not rooting for anyone. That's the weird. I don't have anyone specific to win. I'm just going along for the ride. And I say that like every year, but at the same time, there is like, oh, I want this person to do better. Like I was All Stars 4, I was clearly Team Monique, even if like I didn't think she was actually gonna win. But like, there's no one here that are like, oh, I love them like this. If there is gonna be someone, it's Akira. But other than that, but even then, my feelings for it aren't that strong. Which personally is not a problem, but for many people that really do grab onto one person and stick with it, that is a problem. They are not capable of watching the show without rooting for someone and rooting against everyone else. She's worn those shoes. I don't care. And we probably read those shoes on the runway several times too. Peppermint was my girl, but Peppermint was she was Drag Race girl too. I rooted for her in life. And then I was really happy to see her on. Oh, thank God for those stone types. But at least Peppermint was enjoyable. Okay, moving on. That was Plastique. Sugar Cane as Charo. This was good. I mean, I don't think she made a single joke. Am I wrong for saying that? I don't remember a single joke. I don't remember her making me laugh once. I think she just said coochie coochie the entire time. That was it. That was all she did. And and it was like, well, she's being Charo. Like, that's it. That's all we see. Even Charo as herself is always like that. So she was like, oh, she embodied the character well. She didn't make a single joke. And I was like, and this is a queen in the top 3? And I was like, okay, well, that really says something about this specific Snatch game, where a queen that literally didn't make a joke is in the top because she didn't flub it. Oh, yes. I felt like her tits... there was one week where her titties weren't looking so good, and I was very not happy about it. Her titties from this point forward, I feel, are very good. I'm like, oh, those are right. It is a clever choice. That has... I think... Did Yara Sofia do her once? I think that was one time it was done. But I'm surprised it hasn't been done on a main Snatch game previously. But her runway. Rue was going insane for this look. And I like it a lot. It's gorgeous. But it's not like the best dress I've ever seen in my entire life. I feel like Rue just needed to give Suga some compliments. But yeah. Also, I understand she was going for this Spanish-inspired look with the hair. I didn't like that hair. I wanted bigger hair. Like, it's a gorgeous look. It's very gorgeous, and I love the sleeves. I love, I like that the theme is sequin, but all the paplets or whatever are in the... I have a speech impediment. Are in the ruffles. I like that. So, but yes, not the greatest look I've ever seen in my entire life, but a good look. Okay, Silky as T.S. Madison. So, Silky, okay, this is where I can get into it. Silky did not have the best answers to questions that Rue had. You know, the stuff on her card was not that funny. In fact, I'm pretty sure she used the same one twice. But what Silky excelled at was interacting with the other queens constantly and making me laugh, which is very important. She was able to just ruffle enough feathers and say enough funny things to make it work. And that's why I feel like she deserved the win, because she was really embodying the I am truly living as this character currently. It was a lot like, well, the thing is, T.S. and Madison and Silky are like very similar to begin with, especially when T.S. is on. Yeah, the hair choices were choices. Exactly, the gift of gab. That is very true. She is just able to stick to her guns the entire Snatch game. And something like that is what kind of dampens a change. Like, because you can't stay as your character if you change character, in the case of Nina. But for someone like Silky, yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't understand that either. T.S. Madison needs bangs. Well, Silky didn't change her makeup whatsoever. She looks like Silky. She was like, I could just be myself, and it's not a bad move. She could just be herself and then say a couple T.S. Madison lines and then read everyone else down boots, you know? But yeah. In my opinion, she was the funniest. And I can't. And in my opinion, the funniest should win. Her runway was basic. Super basic. Very boring. She had that coat that nice ruffle coat. It's a cute coat, but it's boring. It's nothing's exciting. She doesn't excite me in the... Was there a single runway she did besides her farm runway, which I love, which was my favorite? Was there a single runway that was like good? That was exciting? Because so far there hasn't. And even when she tries to come up with concepts, like we'll see in the next episode, it's not exciting. It's like, and she looks fine. Like, you can't be too mad at it, but it's just disappointing. Ugh. But yeah, there's not really much to read on it, except that the gown hitting the floor would have been correct, but it's fine. Okay. I forgot this existed. Oh no. Okay. This was the absolute worst. Period. Like, actually, I don't think she did anything worth pointing out. She started with a voice and she dropped that voice very quickly. And then she just had her own fucking deep ass voice that... And I'm not as familiar with Bad Baby as anyone. But did she even make a single reference to what Bad Baby does? Like, any of her songs? Because at least those are like, you've at least Googled one and watched the videos. Like, here's this weird drone video where she's on a roof and then she leaves the roof and she's in a car. You know, you've seen that one video. Like, everyone's at least seen that one. Or the one she's in a courtroom. Like, I don't know the names of them, but at least I know it. It's just, it's pretty. It was a bad choice. All around. So, she was on Dr. Phil. She is a, she has millions, and I mean millions of views on YouTube. You guys are behind. If you don't know, Bad Baby, you probably have heard her songs. Full on, you have, for sure. You have heard her song. You just didn't know it was her. Because she has a different name. And she does not just stick to Cash Me Outside. But either way, this was terrible. Okay, let's move on. Her runway. I didn't mind this look. A lot of people are coming for it. I understand. It's another bodysuit. Like, I get it. It's another one, but I think it's cute. I just wish there was a lining on the cape. That was the only thing. Like, if there were sequins in the cape that were particularly this darker color, I would have been down with it. But that does cheapen it. Because there's no lining on the cape, which is like... If this is how you're gonna pose in this cape, then you need a lining in the cape. I didn't mind it. It just wasn't as good. Remember, she came out the very first few weeks and we were like, our jaws dropped and we were like, this is amazing. And then this is like, we've kind of fallen into what this is. Which kind of sucks. It's like her best made outfits came out first. We saw the verse and that's... It's a little disappointing. Like, this is not on the level of some of her earlier looks. Okay. And lastly, Evie Oddly. She is Whoopi Goldberg. She had jokes, but none of the jokes were funny. And they each... Like, I understand... You wanna, if you're gonna joke about someone, you're gonna make fun of them. Whoopi Goldberg's not really a character that you make fun of the person you are. There's no like social commentary with making fun of who Whoopi Goldberg was. So why were like a lot of them were very hateful towards Whoopi. Like I just didn't get it as to why that was her process. She did it, and because of that, there's nothing funny there. There was nothing interesting to say. So, and because she was doing so well in the competition, and then this is where she fell. I think this is the reason she ended up in the bottom. Because she had done so well. Okay, before we talk about the bottom, let me just talk about her runway, because I will continue. I like this runway look. I like it a lot. I thought it was really cute. Problem. This picture doesn't show it, but when she was walking on the runway, where her ass was supposed to be out of the costume, it wasn't, because it was so baggy that her ass wasn't even out of the costume. It was inside, and the costume was tucked over her ass cheeks because it was a baggy costume. If it was more fitted to her skin, it would look better on the runway. This is a good picture though. And I agreed with Michelle. I didn't like her hair choice. I think it would have been better without the ass cut out and a different hair. I like the actual bodysuit itself. Oh, and people were coming for the boots. I like the boots. I actually really like the boots with this costume. I don't like her little jewelry bangles. Not into them. Would prefer nothing at all. But yeah, so let's talk about bottom two. Bottom two was Brooklyn Heights and Yvie Oddly. Now, this is how I know I went from a bad person to an evil person, because not only was I happy that the two frontrunners in the competition were in the bottom, I was giddy. I was laughing to myself with no one else in the room at the thought of those two being in the bottom. I am a bad person. I am hateful, and it doesn't stop there, because I got pissed off once it was a double. I got so mad once it was a double save. I was like, this was supposed to be, I needed to drink the bottled tears of everyone upset that one of these queens went home. I needed it. And you took that away from me. You were supposed to give me Yvie Oddly elimination tears. That's what I needed. I think Yvie actually won the lip sync, in my opinion. But yes. Also, I was shocked, because I was like, wow, Brooklyn and Vanjie in the bottom in the bottom three, they're gonna make them lip sync for sure. Like I've been saying this for weeks. They're gonna have to lip sync, and it didn't even happen. Well, at least not yet, anyways. But yes, this lip sync, I was like, this is a Demi Lovato song. This is gonna suck, and it turned out to be the best lip sync ever. Demi Lovato actually finally got a good lip sync for once. You know, she's been waiting for it for like what, 5 years now. But yeah, and even though I'm upset that it was a double Shantae, it probably is the most deserved double Shantae in the history of Drag Race. I have never seen RuPaul look back and forth between the queens like she did there. Because usually she gives like a look, like she will like look up a little bit when she's looking down at one queen. She was like moving her full head just to look at these two queens perform. And also the two queens were one-upping each other. If one queen did something, the other one did it. The only reason I think Yvie won out is because Yvie had some good comedy moments, which just elevated her performance. Alyssa versus Tatiana. I mean, I was okay. Well, I actually wasn't that okay with it when it happened. I liked the idea of Tatiana winning and Alyssa not winning. Because, again, I'm an evil, bad person that does not deserve to live. But it was fine. It was fine. I got over it because they both got eliminated anyways. But yeah. What happened in Untucked? I don't remember a single thing in Untucked from this episode. Was there fights? Who was safe? I can't remember Untucked. Let's skip Untucked. Oh, Kyria got a video. Okay, that's sweet. Good for her. We can move on. I don't remember the mini challenge from this episode because I just don't remember anything. I only watched this episode once because Game of Thrones has been happening and I've been just a little bit too mind-fucked about it. So I couldn't really deal. But, oh, they have these looks too. I didn't even realize. Okay, I guess we're going to talk about their challenges, which is weird because it's a team challenge. So I guess I'm going to talk about Kyria individually. Oh, the reading challenge. Oh my god, that was terrible. No wonder I forgot about it. Oh, that was awful. I basically skipped the entire thing. Literally all of us forgot because it was so bad. That was so bad. Oh my god. Now I have to recover from it. I have to recover from remembering it. I don't remember a single read. I remember Brooklyn won, but she kind of won out of default because she maybe had one joke and everyone else was not good. Everyone was so bad. They started off with Nina and Nina said like a joke that she had to explain. It was so bad. What was I about to say? Oh, okay. Reed, I did not like I didn't like the look of Evie's wig under her wig reveal. But I didn't like the original wig either. Neither was an improvement, but neither was terrible. But yeah, that reading challenge is bad. Let's talk about this challenge. Improv. It's like a cops parody. It's Fortune Feinstar and Cheyenne Jackson. They're funny people that can probably help some of these queens get through a challenge if they're not funny. They did not help two of these queens, but pretty much everyone else did okay. Let's talk about Kyria in this challenge. So during Kyria, her scene with Evie, I was like, okay, she's doing fine. And then she ran away from the cops, and that's when I was like, okay, this is it. This is where she starts doing really good, because that was when it was hilarious. So, and I do think she was the funniest because of that. Out of everyone, it wasn't the most shocking. Here's what I don't understand. I don't understand anyone that was like, oh, I was so shocked that she let go, she was funny. I was like, Kyria's been funny before. This is not, we done been new. Like, this isn't new. Kyria has already been funny. So I don't understand this idea like, oh, she shocked us. It was like, no, it's just, this is what I expected. This is what you should expect from your queens, is this amount of humor. But yeah, I'll get to Evie when we get there. Actually, I don't have much to say about Evie. Evie was fine. She was kind of just there. Because the pictures are in order from queens. This look. I hate it. I hate this look. I don't understand why anyone is praising this look. Period. I don't like it. I don't like any part of it. It's... Okay, one thing we need to talk about right here. Right here. We need to talk about this. What is this? Why isn't she wearing gloves? Why isn't she doing that stupid thing that Plastique does where she has, like, it goes around the thumb and kind of part of the hand, but it doesn't go on the finger? That I hate, but it would make sense here because this is gross. It's bunching up here. Also, the rhinestones. People are like, oh, I like how the rhinestones are all sparkly. It's all that. It's like a little added element. Those are not arrows. Those are not arrows. I'm sorry. These are not arrows. Do they look like arrows? Because I think the fuck not. I don't think those are arrows. They're supposed to be arrows. They don't look like arrows. They look like palm trees or some shit. Some gold, it's not gold, silver, shiny palm trees. I don't like this look. I don't like the shoes with it. I don't like any part of it. And y'all already know I hate nude illusion, period. I hate this outfit. Outright hate them. So, I will give, I give Akira praise when she deserves it. This does not deserve praise. It's probably, if it wasn't for the outright worst outfit, which you can't deny is the worst one, this would be my least favorite. Also, let's talk about this challenge. I hate the term face kini so much. So much I hate that term. It's dumb. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Now the thing is, I did a quick Google search. It's a real thing. It's called a face kini. It's a swimwear that you put over your face in case there's fucking jellyfish or it's cold or something. I hate the term face kini. So much. I don't know why they just can't say, oh, let's do a Lee Bowery inspired look. That RuPaul was inspired by Lee Bowery from the beginning with. Why face kini? I don't get it. It's not swimwear. Moving on. Brooklyn Heights. Now, she was funny. She was funny. Now, what she was even better with was physical comedy than what she was saying. But what she was saying was also funny. That level 4 vegan shit was good. That was a funny joke. And she killed it. But like, and she was so severe in it that Cheyenne and Fortune couldn't get words in. She could not. They couldn't even like say anything. They had nothing to say because it was so. It was so like she was taking over. She took over the entire scene. She outdid Nina, which I literally thought was impossible. I did not think anyone could outdo Nina in that way. That I have heard that Simpsons that joke from The Simpsons, but it was funny in this context, you know. So why not take a few jokes here and there? I'm fine with it. It made me laugh and that's it. Cheyenne Jackson is hot. That is true. Moving on to her runway look. Okay, one. How do we have 2 zebra looks in 2 weeks? That's very weird. Obviously, I love a mohawk. I hate this little black piece right here. I hate it so much. It breaks up the outfit. I wish it was just a pure bodysuit. I would have preferred if it was that. Also, I think this look would have been stronger if it wasn't a zebra pattern outfit. Rather, it was a full bodysuit that had like full-size zebra on it. Like a few stripes, not a million white stripes and stuff like that. Like I want it to look like, oh, if she's gonna go full zebra, go full zebra. Have like 15 stripes on you instead of 8 million. I like the mask. I hate the steampunk aesthetic, and I like steampunk in general. I hate this. I hate the gears on it. That tail is not as cool as a curious tail. And yeah, overall, I think this outfit's like a no for me. It's a no. I don't like it. So I'm not into it. I'm not into this look. I was thinking about it and I was like, oh my god, I'm so like, I was like recollecting my thoughts after watching the episode. I was like, oh, this was pretty good. Like most of the people in the challenge weren't that bad. And then like, oh, there were some good runway looks. And I was thinking back on it. I was like, there was 2 good runway looks. And they were not from the people that won. So we'll get into that. Let's talk about Nina. Steampunk is just so overdone at this point because people just add steampunk with everything. I personally don't hate it. Nina she was actually really funny, but she was so overshadowed by Brooke. It wasn't a competition between the two. And I just don't really... It's like all the jokes were from Brooklyn. And Brooklyn, and all basically most of the funny moments with Nina were Brooklyn led. It was like because Brooklyn kissed her, or Brooklyn did this with her, or Brooklyn. Like Nina didn't act good. Like she acted fine, but she didn't perform this particular challenge on her own in any way, shape, or form. It was always with Brooklyn. So that was it. Let's move on to her runway. Best runway of the week by far. It's the cleanest, simplest, but best executed one of the week. I don't even know how she gets her whites that clean. That doesn't even make any fucking sense to me. Best runway look of the week. I cannot even... There's just not a competition here. Like, Nina went from someone that had like some of the runways of the season to having outright one of the best looks of this season. I love this look. Now let's talk about the controversies. A lot of people are coming for Nina, or rather some people are coming for Nina because they're saying that she stole this look from various people. And it's like, no, you can clearly see her inspiration. And these Instagram queens are like, I did this 10 years ago. It's like, if you did 10 years ago, then it wasn't that original to begin with. Where did you get your inspiration? Because that's where she got her inspiration. It's so ridiculous. Remember when Seven Rings came out by Ariana? And so many people were like, oh, she stole this from me. She stole this from me. If every single person on the planet said they stole it, that she stole it from them, then it wasn't that original to begin with. The difference between Ariana and Nina, you know, comparing these two completely different situations is Nina did it well and Ariana's song sucks. I don't know how I got into this tangent, but I'm still enjoying this tangent. Anyways, Nina did this well, and it's my favorite look of the week. Plastique. Okay, well, I mean, what do we have to say about Plastique and Vanessa? They did terribly. They did so bad. They were cats, and neither one of them spit up a hairball. There wasn't even a storyline, except for they had a gallon of milk, and they were dressed like cats, and that was it. And what Vanessa always does is she always defaults on... Well, people were coming for Plastique because Plastique defaults on her Asian accent. But Vanessa, she always defaults on, oh, she stole my man. I'm a prostitute. You know, all this bullshit. It's just... It's like they default on the same thing. So it's not like one was outdoing the other in any sort of way. Her look. It's not a face kini. I hate that term, but it's not a full face mask that the challenge was asking for. I don't know how she didn't look at literally everyone else's looks and go, oh, let me grab some pantyhose, put it over my face, and then put my black mask over that. Yes? No? Also, it's so outrageous to me how she believes that this look isn't pretty. She was in Untucked. It's like, how is this glamorous or pretty in any way? It's like, because it is. Just because it's a little bit more smudged doesn't mean it's not pretty. And it's like, she's also the kind of queen that thought in her Halloween look, that skeleton look, that she was like, oh, I'm spooky, I'm not pretty. It's like, you're gorgeous, what are you talking about? She is the kind of queen that doesn't understand that you can be more than one thing at a time. the only time she's ever conveyed anything that wasn't pretty was during that book mini challenge, which is why most people liked it. Because she was finally letting herself be ugly. But yeah, it's, yeah, we've seen it before. So, moving on. Sugar King. She got bulldozed so hard by Silky and the challenge. And it was like, when this fucking clown idiot here can think of better things to say in a challenge, then you need help. Because I was like, when Silky was saying, when they asked her if she just came back from church, and she said yes, and then Silky was like, she didn't come back from church, she's a whore. I was like, literally everyone knows the joke of, I was on my knees worshiping and the guy was screaming for Jesus. I don't know why she didn't say that then. It was the most obvious thing to fucking say in the world, and I just don't get why she didn't say it. It's like everyone knows that joke. Every drag queen in the world has said it, so she could have said it, but yeah, it was like, if I know what to say in this challenge and you don't, that's a problem. Because you know what I am? Terrible. I'm a clown trash can. But yeah, she got bulldozed. She was barely even there. Moving on to her runway. This was the one of the only other looks that was good this week. This was a very good look. It's gorgeous. It's really well done. The only problems people have is a hat should have been a little bit bigger. I agree. It doesn't mean the outfit's bad by any means. I love it. I love this ugly couch print that's on this entire dress. I think it's great. I think this is a really great outfit. Again, one of two looks that was good this week. Nina and Suga. And they weren't even in the top. They weren't even in the top. And 100, well, not even. I'm about to say 100% this saved her from the bottom two, but like the other two were so bad in their challenge that it didn't even matter. Was there a black zipper on the back? I didn't notice, so I'm just gonna assume you're lying and ignore you. No, I'm just joking. Silky. I said Suga again. Silky. She was so funny. She was really funny. She said all the right things. She knows exactly what needed to be done. And, I agree with you there. I think Suga should have been playing safe and Nina should have been on top. But here's the thing. I like the fact that they at least put Silky. No, fucking hell. Who am I talking about? Silky should have been safe and then Nina should have been in the top. Silky and Suga's names are really fucking me up here. But I like that they put Silky on the top because they read her the house down for her outfit, which deserved. But I did want Nina to get praise for her outfit as well. But hopefully this helps humble Silky in some way, shape, or form. Anyway, she was super funny. Let's read this outfit. This was terrible. This is the worst. Outright. I hated a Curious. This was bad. This was bad. She was a fly and she didn't have wings. There is no concept around the mask. It's black on black on black on black. There's nothing to help signify what she was. It's just like, and then even like she sat backstage getting ready and she was like, I don't even need to do my makeup, and they read her for not doing her makeup. It was like, I hate this look so much. The headpiece is good, but the headpiece needs to go with the rest of the outfit. Which it doesn't. I think the spray was supposed to be Raid, which is probably why most people associated it with a roach instead of a fly. Because, but yeah, whatever. It's a terrible outfit. Terrible outfit with literally no planning. She had that headpiece and she was like, I'm gonna wear all black. And, you know, didn't really work out. I hate it. I hate it so much. Vanessa, terrible. We already talked about it. It was really bad. Very bad performance. Runaway. I think I've said what I'm gonna say what everyone else has said. From this point down, terrible. From this point, it's bad. You can see the cutoff point here. You can see it. It's this line right here. This line, from that point down, terrible. It should have been a dress. Just have it a gown. Have it like a skin tight gown. It should not have had pants. And you know, I love me some pants. I think pants are great on queens. It should have been a gown. Should have been like maybe something like Katya's swimsuit gown or something like that. Like something like that. It was just. From this up, I enjoy. I think this looks good. I don't like this piece in the center, which I thought was built into the suit, but I think it's a built corset, which points for having a themed corset for your outfit, but it looks terrible, so I don't know why she had it. The ponytail, I like the ponytail that it's braided. I think that's cool, but it could have been bigger. And also, it didn't really flop that well. This outfit was clearly not made for performances, because in the performance that she later did, it didn't spin as well as it probably would have if it was meant for a performance. But yeah, it's not that great. It could have been better. Could have been way better. And moving on to Evie, she was kind of just there. She didn't do bad. She just didn't have a lot to say. And like the parts where Akira excelled, which is when she was running away from the cops, Evie was in the back of the cop car. She didn't have anything to do or say. So it was like she was out of the scene for the rest of the performance. So it was like Evie probably didn't even need to be there, and Akira still would have won. You know? Like it's but she didn't suck the funny out of the scene like Plastique and Vanjie did. And her runway. Is it fair to come for a queen because they said, you know, we have a little bit of an eye for this silhouette now, for this look, for this bodysuit because of Plastique and Vanessa now? And is it fair to come for Evie for it when you are coming for Vanessa? And yeah, like it's very I feel weird about it, but at the same time I don't like it. I like the head. Everything on the head is great. I like how freaky that looks. But also, can I just say fuck you, Evie? Fuck you. How dare you? How dare you fucking say that about Asia's fish look, her mermaid look from the previous season, when Asia's fish look is one of my favorite looks ever, and she said that she's doing it better and how this is how Asia should. Fuck you. Honestly, fuck you. I was rooting for you. Not really. I wasn't really rooting for you. But now I hate you. Now I can't stand you for saying such a thing. I couldn't. I was so pissed off when she said that in Untucked. I like the idea of it. I like the green, like oozing. I think it's a cute idea. I just don't like it. And also, she said that about Asia. I cannot. I couldn't. I can't. I shan't. But yeah. I think I'm done. I think I'm done talking about it now. It was a very, very safe week for Evie. That is very true. Bottom two, Plastique and Vanessa. Can you guys remind me what the lip sync song was? Because I cannot remember for the life of me. I think I'm gonna take away the looks now, so I can actually Google shit. Fantasia. I was like, right, there was a Fantasia song. I was thinking about it. Yeah, that song was made for Vanessa. Vanessa definitely won that. She felt it more. Plastique's performance was kind of just... I felt like she performed it in the way she would perform literally any song in the world, which isn't good. Like, she wasn't performing this particular song. She was performing any song she normally does on stage. It was like she was doing it in such a... Robotic is the perfect term. It was like she's pre-programmed to do this sexy performance, and that's the only way she knows how to perform. I doubt that's how it actually is. I'm pretty sure she knows how to perform very well. This was just not the song to do that on. And also, okay, I didn't say this when... Who was it? Raja. When Raja and Akira lip synced, I kept expecting Raja to accidentally hit Akira with her like that braided ponytail that she had, and I expected the exact same thing to happen in this performance with Vanessa's her ponytail. I was like, I know they're both braided. How interesting that that's the case. I'm shocked that no one has gone smacked in the head by a ponytail at this point, but you know, fingers crossed that will happen at some point in the future. But yeah, Plastique went home. I'm not that sad about it. It's expected. She did really bad. She did really bad in this challenge, so I couldn't be too sad. I also wasn't very sad. They didn't edit it that sad either. Like they did for like someone like, remember when Scarlett got eliminated? It was like, oh, that kind of feels bad. That feels sad. Not here. Not here. Yeah, prove that Plastic Tiara's lip sync. Well, the thing is, it doesn't work with any song because it didn't work with this song. It's just she performed it as if it was any song. But yeah, I think that's it. Oh my god, she did put her leg up at the back of the stage like Alyssa. I saw that and I was like, girl, that means something in this competition, and guess what? It didn't work out in that way. I didn't see the preview, but I'm gonna read it. The queens must razzle dazzle in their very own magic show. I love Gina Rodriguez, and Catherine Langoff guest judge. So the queens have to do a magic show next week. Oh, I can't wait for that. That's gonna be terrible. Oh, that will be interesting. I like that. Nina will probably win. I agree. Or she'll do terribly. What happened in Untucked? I can't remember. Untucked truly leaves my brain after I watch it. Like, I really can't remember. Like, because it's been like so many fights, so since it's not a fight, I don't think there's anything. I don't remember anything. Soki got a video, right? And Nina had a heart-to-heart with Evie. Oh yeah, where they were sitting outside. I want to see more outside. I just like to see the queens outside, because that was very season 7, where all the queens were outside every episode, and I was like, I'm into that. I'm into the queens sitting outside smoking. I don't even need them to smoke. I just like, sometimes they need fresh air, but it's probably very hot in LA and they don't want to be outside. But yeah, I like seeing it, because the Untucked room is so dark. It feels like just claustrophobic, even though it's a big open space. For some reason, it just feels claustrophobic. you want... Okay, so have you guys... I'm 100% sure I talked to you guys about this, but you know how... I think I even said it maybe like within the last couple streams, but I forget what it's called. It's this thing in your brain where sometimes you have to tell yourself not to do a certain action because it's like you need to do this. And sometimes people, I will bring this back to Drag Race, I swear. Sometimes people are like, when they're on top of a building, they have to tell themselves not to jump. Not because they're suicidal, but just because it's like, it's just a reflex in their brain to say jump. Or sometimes when people are watching a show, they have to tell themselves not to jump on stage or something like that. So when I was a kid and when I would walk the hallways in school and like we would have to walk in a line, this is elementary school, I would have to tell myself, intrusive thoughts, thank you. I would have to tell myself not to just run out the side door and just run off into the neighborhood that was surrounded my school. So whenever I think about the queens outside, I always think to myself, if I was a queen on that show, I know for a fact I would have to tell myself not to just run. Could you imagine one of these queens like when they're walking right at that door of Untucked and they just start running? They're like, I always imagine that's how I would feel in that show, is if I would just want to run the fuck out of there. It's like, what would they do? Would they chase you? Would they try to tackle you to the ground to make you, perform knock on wood on stage? Like, what is it? I always think about that. It's like, oh my god, I would just book it out of there. Because I'm like, are the PAs as fast as me? I don't think so. Maybe that one short guy, he looks wiry, he might be able to catch me. And the thing is, he may not be big enough to tackle me down, but he will slow me down by latching onto my leg. Okay, I think I'm done talking about that. You guys are the one talking about Nina. It's just a funny image, though. So is there anything else to talk about? Do you guys care about Game of Thrones? I don't feel like talking about Game of Thrones. The thing about Game of Thrones is it's not interesting to talk about the previous week's event. It's only interesting to talk about what's happening next. No, y'all don't care about Game of Thrones. I feel you on that. I don't think Silky's getting a villain edit. Like Akira was. Yeah, she was running away from the cops. Oh, that would be so accurate. Thing is, I would also need a cane. I'm like, give me that cane so I can run away. Oh, that was so good. Oh, I didn't even talk about Akira winning. Akira won. I hated her outfit, but she had the best performance, so I can't be too upset about it. And then we had Silky's outfit, which was also terrible. And then Brooklyn's, which was also terrible. So it's like, it was 3 terrible outfits with the 3 queens in the top. So of course Akira won because she had the best performance, but all their outfits were terrible. Isn't that weird that the 3 tops had the worst outfits? Do I think Nina should have stayed as the naked one in the scene instead of letting Brooke do it? I think it worked out best with Brooke doing it because it could have been a risk that didn't work out, but I am interested to see what would have happened. Because when they did change it, they were kind of setting it up to make it seem like bad things were going to happen with that change, but it turned out for the best, in my opinion. The keyword, that's very true, because that's like Brooklyn was that seemed there like she was out there for a while before Nina just decided I need to come out or this scene's not going to get done. I did listen to the music recommendations. Out of all the music recommendations I got last week, the only one I liked I literally only liked one artist, and that was, I don't know how to pronounce it. Bulo? Bulo was the only one. It has the two little dots on the U. The album's called Crystalline. I enjoyed that one. Sweet Little Lies, good ass song. But I don't think I didn't like anyone else's recommendations. Like, at all. Except for the ones I already listened to. Like, some people said Pink, or like said Marina, but besides that, I don't think I liked anyone. Thoughts on Luna? I'd never truly cared to listen to Luna. Like, at all. Period. Outright. And I never will. Because it's like when people tell me to basically watch anything, I will never do it. I have not seen the Limited Queens face keenies. Usually that's on Instagram, and I don't really do Instagram. Did we all block out Ariel from our minds? I haven't listened to the Marina album yet. I need to listen to Get Stupid. I only listen to Sweet Little Lies, which is like my favorite song. But if I do have a recommendation for y'all, because my music is good. You guys are the ones with problems. I need to help you with your music choices. Lady Ray, W-R-A-Y, has a song called Piece of Me. That's a good ass song. Where's the other one? Shaylia, Shaylia, has a song called Dangerous. That's a good ass song. And the Cranberries' last album, it's very emotional. It's called In the End, and it's very good. If you like the Cranberries, I say give it a listen. It's their last album, R.I.P. But you know, it's very good. Oh, and Pity, P-I-T-T-Y, hasn't there. Some of you don't care because different language, but Brazilian rock singer, and she has a song album called Matriz, which means matrix. It could also mean womb. I don't speak Portuguese, so I have a hard time understanding a lot of things because I know the very basics of Spanish, and with Portuguese and Spanish, it fucks you up. It fucks you up because it sounds like someone speaking your language, but it's just off enough where you don't understand. It just feels so weird. But yeah, I like that album. Listening to the Cranberries and doing the mashed potato. But yeah, those are the recommendations I have. Anything else? Well, obviously Lizzo's album came out since last stream, and that was good. Maybe you stand Luna, I know Portuguese. I'm sure that would not help whatsoever. I don't stan anyone. And you think I would stan Luna? Please. Oh, and what's her name? Rico Nasty. Kenny Beats and Rico Nasty released an album called Anger Management, and that was really good too. Listen to at least Cold. Cold is a very good song. I didn't listen to Taylor Swift's new song because it's called Me, and I was like, I don't need this. I haven't listened to Kim Petras' new song. I know it's called Broken. I have it like right here queued up, but I need to listen to it. I didn't like any of Taylor's last album, so I wasn't gonna like. So I just didn't assume I was gonna like her new music. A Juice lip sync would be really good. Juice has been a song that's been playing on repeat. The singles were terrible. Like, and the thing is, her previous album, besides Bad Blood, which was a fucking awful song, I liked her last album, the previous album. The one before last. You know what I mean. Oh, and Shake It Off. Shake It Off was terrible, too. That was bad. I don't even think I know Wildest Dreams. I think that's the one single I don't know. That was a single, right? I'm pretty sure. Ariana's new album, I didn't... There's like 2 songs I like on it. None of them are the singles. In fact, the singles that she picked were terrible. I hate Seven Rings. I already said this in the stream. And Break Up With Your Boyfriend is... No, With Your Girlfriend is one of the worst songs I've ever seen in my entire life. It's terrible. Awful. I cannot believe she picked that as single. Period. Outright. I don't understand. I don't understand. What else was on that album? In fact, I don't even remember what song I liked on it. Did I like NASA? I think I liked NASA. I think NASA is the only song I liked. God is a Woman was on Sweetener, which is a completely different album. It's so wild to me because she didn't need to release this album. Maybe it was a bad idea. I don't remember. I haven't listened to it. I haven't listened to it since it released. But it's so wild to me that she released this when she didn't need to. She had Thank You Next, and she could have just had Thank You Next, the single. And that'd been it. That could have been it, because that was perfect. That was all we needed at that time. We didn't need anything else. And then Seven Rings happened, and that was awful. And we were still, we were coming off Sweetener, and then like some of those songs were terrible. But like at least God Is a Woman was good. No Tears Left to Cry was amazing. Like, we didn't need any of that other shit. I didn't know what the other, The Light Is Coming is awful. What was the other single? Was it Breathin'? I think it was Breathing. That was a good one. If you take all the good songs from Sweetener and Thank You Next, you get a full album. but with all the terrible songs, you get a mess. You ever just think about the time when Ariana and Pete Davidson were together? Those were dark times. Those were terrible times. God, she was like, we were all rooting for her, but we were also like, this is the most annoying shit in the world. I hate it. I hate The Light Is Coming. I hated that song from the second it came out. Yeah, for that time. The Light Is Coming is just the exact same thing happening on a loop, and I don't like it. It's kind of the problem I have with Seven Rings. Except for Seven Rings, I already talked about this. I don't need to go into Seven Rings again, but God, her fucking rap in that was terrible. She wasn't even saying words. She already has a hard time enunciating, and then she started to rap. Oh, you know who's doing really well? Allie and AJ. They have a new song too, and it's actually pretty good. It's not the best song in the world, but I like it. I like Allie and AJ. They're thriving. I don't know why they wait 10 years to release music when they could have been doing it. We needed them the past decade, and they left us, so it's hard to root for them, but you know. Billie Eilish. That's a name. I like Billie Eilish. I have not listened to that full album. I've only listened to Bad Guy because you can't escape Bad Guy. And when you listen to Bad Guy, the first 3 notes of that beat suck you in. And I'm like, okay, now this is a song I'm going to be obsessed with. I cannot look at her. I can't look at the rest of her album because I don't want to like this. Like, I don't want to like it all. I've only listened to Bad Guy. But I did have to look up who did the production, and it's her brother. Her brother does the production for that song. But I was looking at her album, and her brother did the production for every song. But for Bad Guy specifically, she also helped out with that production. and I was like, oh, she knew this song was special. And it was going to be the one driving force to bring in every other person that wasn't already into her. But that's the one song that I care about. Because I don't really. But like the one problem with it is, God, the amount of people that say, oh, she's going to join the 27 Club is outrageous. Isn't that fucked up? Like, how is that okay? How is that okay to say? Yeah, she's 17 now. Even though her songs do talk about, like, literally doing everything. But, God, that's really a fucked up thing to say to a teenager. They are, and it's really wild. It's also done. They also say in such a way like, "Oh, let's enjoy her now before she dies." I'm like, wow, that's not okay. I did watch an interview with her. She did like this. Who does these where they interview her and then a year later she interviewed and she was like, "Oh my God, I was so young and precious." I was like, "You're 15 and now you're 16, girl. You're gonna look back in like 8 years and go like, I was young and stupid the entire time." She's so young. She was born in after the year 2000 and she's successful and I cannot stand her for that. She's at least a really engaging figure because clearly people are talking about her. We're talking about her. I know one song and I'm talking about her. She's clearly someone that people want to know of. I'm looking at my Photoshop job of these stupid ass background pieces on screen and I'm like, God, I did a bad job. You can like see the outline. It's so bad. Have I seen the video for See Me with the Crown? No. I don't normally watch videos for anybody. Really. Like if I want to listen to a song, I usually go on Spotify and listen to it, which I don't even use Spotify. I only use it to check out songs to buy. Oh, I do want to say that with Bad Guy though, I don't like the last part. I don't like the last part of Bad Guy. I usually stop before it reaches, you know, that end part wherever. I did watch that music video. Because I think I watched someone react to that music video. Yeah, that's how I watched it. Where she she pops out a paper and then she rolls on the floor like big comfy couch. And she has a nosebleed. Yeah, that one. Pixel Billie Eilish collab. Oh god. I don't think we had. Did Big Comfy Couch air in America? I only know it because I need to know clown stuff. And when you have characters that are clowns, I need to know about that television program. I don't remember watching Big Comfy Couch as a kid. I literally only know it because the clown. I did watch was it JoJo? JoJo's Circus? Is that what that claymation show was? That was back when I didn't like clowns. You know what show I miss? Bear in the Big Blue House. That was the best show ever, and I'm pretty sure that made me a better person because I watched it. If I had not watched it, I would be a rotted awful person. Well, more of a rotted awful person. Like I would kick people probably. But it was just because of Bear that I don't. That mouse, what was his name? Like I feel like it's Skeeter or something. Oh, that mouse was my favorite. He was my favorite character. The moon was everything. The Goodbye song will make me cry to this day. I have fully watched the Goodbye song at 3 a.m. crying. Because I was evaluating my life and I was like, it all went wrong. It all went wrong. In this stream, we love bears. That's very true. Wasn't there like a green raccoon? Was he supposed to be a lemur? I think it was supposed to be a lemur. And there was Shadow. Shadow used to freak me the fuck out. Ugh. And then remember when it wasn't, they left the house? Like one season, all of a sudden they were no longer in the house. I was like, this is not okay. It's all you need to stay in the house. It's Bear in the Big Blue House. How do you leave? Zumafu? I'd never watched Zumafu. That was not a show I watched. Zabumafu. Zumafu? That's not it. Oh my god, that monkey thing, it gets the lemur. He died. That's sad, but also, I don't think they probably lived longer than most. I never watched it. I know about it because I watched Defunctland TV, which is a great channel. Watch Defunctland. They have one on what was the recent one? Jim Henson. It's so good. They're like doing a documentary on Jim Henson right now. And they posted it recently about his early life, and then I'm assuming they're gonna go into like, oh, full on when the Muppets became worldwide known. That was very good. Blue's Clues was good. Remember when Steve left? That was sad. I refused to watch it after. But I had one of those notepads with that giant ass crayon. I was so into it. and I refused to draw on it because I didn't like it. You don't like? I probably only like it because of the guy that narrates it. The Mail. Did you guys see the Dora have we talked about the Dora Explorer movie? Because have I ranted that Dora's not a jungle girl? I think I did. I distinctly remember ranting about this. So I'm not gonna rant about it anymore. We haven't? I swear to God we have. We must have. Because Dora was not a jungle. She would always... most of the episodes took place in an empty field. And all they were trying to do was get to Benny's house. That's all it was. That's all that Dora the Explorer was. And Benny's house was a barn. It was not in a jungle. So I don't understand this obsession with the film of making Dora this jungle girl. She was never a jungle. Diego was more of a jungle person than Dora was, and Diego also wasn't always in the jungle, but he was mainly in the jungle because it was mainly jungle animals. But sometimes it was the bottom of the ocean, or something he was in the mountains because, you know, it depended on which animal he was saving. But Dora, it was just, she just wanted to get to someone's house, you know? She just wanted to help someone. It was very Tomb Raider for children. I was watching, some people that I watched were talking about it, and they talked about how Dora in that movie has bigger boobs than the woman that plays Lara Croft in the latest Tomb Raider. Two hours of Dora in a field wouldn't make a good film, but is it going to be a good film anyways if we don't get Benny? Or if we don't get Lizzie the lizard? I think she may have been an iguana, and then Chico the squirrel. It's like we're not gonna get any of them because Boots is just a little regular monkey that they made purple. They're supposed to be living animal. It's like like I said this on Twitter. It's Animal Crossing. That's what Dora the Explorer was Animal Crossing. But a TV show with more action than Animal Crossing will ever have. And it's like, how are we, like, we're not gonna get any of the elements. It's just this one girl from the jungle. Which is not the show. And we already know half of that film is gonna be about high school angst. And then the last half is gonna be Dora in the jungle thriving, you know? And then she's gonna have to put her newfound knowledge of being a regular person in the regular world into saving the jungle or some shit. And how do you have Dora without Swiper being the main villain? You know? The best episodes of Dora the Explorer, though, were when Swiper was the one that needed help. I feel like that was probably one episode. Dora bringing a knife on the field trip. That was just pure my high school. Everyone brought a knife. You need protection. A reverse persona for Swiper. I don't think Swiper's in the film at all. I'm sure if they put Benny as just a regular fucking... They're supposed to be animal people. I don't get it. Like, Benny's a person. He's not a cow. He's not just a cow. He's a cow person. He has a grandma. He's bilingual. What kind of? He's the one that spoke the least amount of Spanish. I want Nina West to... What's y'all's obsession with Nina West doing very dangerous stuff? This chair's starting to make so much noise. I'm kind of over it. Maybe I need to grease it up or something. I actually don't know if that helps. I don't know the audience for the new Dora movie though. Who's it for? Because is it not? I don't think it's for little girls that watch Dora the Explorer now. It's not for. I don't think it's too childish without any good humor for the people that watched it when we were kids. And no one else wants to watch it. Did you guys see Jim Carrey's Robotnik? I just remembered this. I just had a full flash in my head about Jim Carrey as Robotnik. It's probably gonna be the only saving grace for that fucking Sonic movie. I'm so ready for that Sonic just for Jim Carrey as Robotnik. And I don't like Jim Carrey. I outright hate Jim Carrey as a person. I think he's an awful human being because he's so up his own ass. But I think his performance as Robotnik is gonna be the best. The trailer should drop tomorrow, but it leaked. There's a screenshot that leaked, and it's terrible, but it's awful. But the trailer should drop tomorrow, according to the presses. Oh, like the fucking... Oh. It's so funny. I never thought a Pokemon live-action movie would ever be received well by the public, but everyone's so ready for this Detective Pikachu movie. It's so wild to me, but I'm so happy that people are into it. His weird fucking human legs, it doesn't make any sense. It reminds me of when they first showed the silhouette. I thought it looked like, remember Jumanji? When the little boy was turning into a monkey and he was like half monkey, it kind of looked like that. I'm really into Detective Pikachu. I think they did the Pokemon as best as they possibly could. As far as the Pokemon look. The story I don't think is gonna be that well. It's gonna be like, oh, like I just don't know where it's gonna lead, because it's definitely not based. It's very loosely based on the game. And I feel like they're showing all their cards here. Like if you find the humor funny, you're seeing all the funny parts now. There's so many trailers for that movie. I was okay with it until there was fart jokes, and I was like, oh fuck. I literally haven't seen Ryan Reynolds in any other film because I don't watch superhero films. So I don't have this weird thing with Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is just some random actor to me. It could have literally been anyone. It could have been Hugh Jackman and I would not have cared. Because I have no association with that character. With Ryan Reynolds as a specific character. Best video game adaptations, Castlevania Netflix show. I heard that was good. There hasn't really been well-received video game movies, though. Which is kind of wild, because there are properties that would work well as movies. Like The Last of Us could just be a movie. But it can't, because the pacing of a video game is different. Also, to play The Last of Us fully, like perfectly, in the fastest time possible is like 5 hours, and that's a very long time. You can't squish that down into 2.5 hours and make it a good film. You know, it's all about the pacing, and it changes stuff when you are at the controls. Just the way in Last of Us that they changed the controls from you being I forget the main character's name. Joel? Is it Joel? I'm pretty sure it's Joel. From Joel to Ellie changes everything. You know? I talk about The Last of Us. The Legend of Zelda, I think they were talking about making a show, but I don't think it... I think people jumped on it too soon and were like, this is what we want to do. Not really a confirmation that it was happening. Does The Witcher on Netflix count as a video game or book adaptation? They're basing it off the video game. I know. I'm pretty sure I heard that. Like, the only reason Henry Cavill is playing, I wanted to call him Gandalf, Geralt, is because he's a fan of the video games. Like, that's why he's playing that character. I don't think he looks good as that character, though. I think he looks fine as hell in every other, in normal life, with or without clothes. Henry Cavill is fine. The Haunting? I haven't watched The Haunting yet. I don't think I will. I'm not into ooky or spooky. Actually, I take that back. I'm into spooky, not into ooky. I don't like scary shit. Though I did... Last time I talked about Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which is a book series, a kid's book series. I read the first one. I don't know why that shit was banned from schools, because it wasn't that scary. There's like a couple of really creepy illustrations, but it wasn't that scary. I think parents overreacted way too much. But I am interested to see the adaptions and the whatchamacallit, the documentary about that book. Which the documentary comes out in May. I think the actual film about some of those stories comes out in August or maybe October. August or October. What do you think of Taylor Swift's Me? I haven't watched or listened to that song or music video. Yeah, that's yeah. I haven't read any of the other ones. They're very easy stories that are so not. Like, I realized something with those books is those are multiplayer books. Essentially, they're books you read to your friends on the playground. They're not books you read to yourself, because otherwise they're not fun. They have like cues for you to jump to your friends next to you and stuff. So as a kid, this wasn't something you read to yourself. But they're okay stories. There's some really cool stories in there, actually. And they're not original stories, though. They're all adaptions of folk tales and stories that have been passed down. But they do have references, which I really like. They're in the back of the book. They have all the origins of those stories. I find that more fascinating than the stories themselves. No one cares about what I'm talking about right now. Those I Spy books. Oh my god. I used to be obsessed with Where's Waldo all the time when I was a kid, which I assume is very similar to the I Spy books, but I never actually read I Spy. Just Where's Waldo. His name in other countries is Where's Wally, and I hate it. I hate it. Where's Waldo could be a funny adaptation into a film. I think it could work out well. I mean, they rebooted Carmen. I mean, Carmen did come out first as... It did come out... Was it a video game first, or was it a cartoon first? And then there was the live-action game show. Carmen Sandiego was a full franchise before franchises were really... were really a thing. Waldo does just like, he doesn't dress like a clown. He just wears stripes. The game show came first. That's interesting. I would not think so. I would assume that the other ones came first, but that's interesting. Okay, time to wrap it up. I did start late, but I'm still gonna end on the hour, so 10 minutes left. Stripes do not equal clown. That's not accurate. Yes, a clown nose. Literally, to me, in my opinion, all you need is a clown nose. Sometimes I see clowns that don't have a clown nose or don't have like anything interesting with their nose, and I'm like, you're not a fucking clown. Let me change the thumbnail before we clown identify. I am the authority of clowns. I am the one that says whether it's a clown or not. I need to change the title, so no. That'll be a good title. Clown Sona. That's that one's taken. Oh, we're having a countdown. I don't know if you guys are aware. I'm having a countdown for when I reach under 8,000 subs, because it's dropping steadily. So we'll reach under 8,000 subs within, I say within the next 2 weeks. It'll be very interesting. I'm honestly surprised that hasn't happened sooner. Talked a gaggle of losers. That I wouldn't say no to that. Let's see. Nope. 429. Why are people unsubbing? Because I don't post. What do you mean? Because I don't post shit. Every time I remind people that I exist, aka do one of these streams, people are like, oh, he hasn't made a video in a year. I'm actually just gonna do no. What was these episodes about? That's why I couldn't even think of a title for the stream itself, is because there's nothing interesting in this episode, clearly. No, I just gotta title it like I wanted. No more double Shantays. That'll bring in the views. Someone will click on that thinking I'm gonna rant for 2 hours straight, but I actually just kind of gloss over it. Get that good clickbait. actually don't mind this season all that much. I think there's some boring aspects, but overall I'm not too upset. I was super annoyed with All Stars 4. Mainly because it was just too much at once. There's just too much Drag Race. There's still too much Drag Race. I want them to take like a year break. But but if that were to happen, I wouldn't have anything to talk about in these streams. I mean, we had an hour Drag Race, and now I'm struggling to fit this 1 hour in. This second hour. On 9/11 for I didn't talk about 9/11 for that long. Well, it was actually a very long time in that one stream, but I had very important things to say about how it had crafted our sensibilities now as media consumers, and it needed to be said. What's that tweet? A Trixie Mattel tweet? Oh, that's actually a really funny joke. It's just a joke about drag queens and saying words. Okay, I think it's time to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this week. I'll be back in 2 weeks to talk about the next 2 episodes, some magic bullshit, and then whatever happens next. I'm sure there will be something to upset me, and that will be entertaining for me to talk about because I'm upset by everything. If you want updates from me, you can do it on Twitter. I also stream on Twitch, but not really because I'm really bad at keeping a schedule. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.